A while back, I took a wrong turn off Highway 101, way up in the foggy north of California, and I almost turned around. I'm glad I didn't, because the road dropped me into a town that looked like somebody had frozen 1890 in place and kept it perfect. Pastel mansions, a creamery, dairy fields rolling toward the ocean, and the part that got me? People actually live there. Normal people, on normal money. That town's on this list, number 1 actually, along with 9 others most Californians have never heard of. If a simpler, more beautiful life is something you think about late at night, hit subscribe and ride with me. I promise the last one's worth the wait. Number 10, Sutter Creek. Picture a gold rush main street that nobody bulldozed. That's Sutter Creek, tucked into the Sierra foothills, and the wild part is you can still land a home here in the low 400,000s, while that same money in the Bay Area buys you, what, a parking spot and a dream? This place was born around 1849, mined hard for quartz gold, and it never lost its bones. The 2-story wooden buildings with those overhanging balconies? Same ones. Walk Main Street at golden hour, and the light hits the old storefronts, and you'd swear you stepped through a time slip. There's even a working foundry from 1873, the last water-powered one of its kind left in the entire country. Still has its original belt-driven machinery. I find that absurdly cool. Here's the dream life version. You wake up slow, drive 10 minutes into the Shenandoah Valley for wine tasting that costs a third of Napa, and you're back home before the afternoon heat. Sacramento's only 45 minutes off when you need a real city. Now, the honest part, about 2,600 people live here, and local jobs are thin. This is a remote worker or retiree town. But if that's you, your money buys a whole life, not a down payment. And listen, this is only number 10. It gets prettier from here. Number 9, McCloud. Imagine opening your front door to a 14,000-foot snow-capped volcano every single morning. That's life in McCloud, a little mill town sitting right at the base of Mount Shasta. And it's the quiet, cheaper alternative to the busier town next door. McCloud grew up as a lumber company town in the early 1900s, and a lot of that old company town fabric is still standing, so the place reads like a preserved chapter of California's timber years. Roughly 945 people call it home. It sits up at 3,200 feet, so you get crisp alpine air, real four-season living, and 3 waterfalls practically in your backyard. Here's the scene I keep imagining. A cold, clear morning, wood smoke in the air, you're walking down to fish the McCloud River, and Shasta's just there, glowing pink at dawn over the rooftops. Locals talk about that mountain like it's a neighbor watching over them. I get it. The numbers? Nearby Mount Shasta runs around $437,000 median, and McCloud usually comes in under that. For genuine mountain living, that's a steal. A pension stretches far up here. The trade-off's obvious. It's remote, winters are real, and work is mostly something you bring with you. Honestly though, for the right person, that's not a downside. That's the whole point. Number 8, Julian. Now here's one that shouldn't exist. An hour from sunny San Diego, up at 5,000 feet, there's a mountain town that gets actual snow, smells like cinnamon every fall, and is famous, genuinely famous, for apple pie. That's Julian, and almost nobody outside Southern California knows it's there. The story's great. Gold turned up at Coleman Creek in 1869, and a Confederate vet named Drew Bailey founded the town in 1870. But get this, he didn't name it after himself. He named it after his better-looking cousin, Mike Julian. I'm not making that up. When the gold ran out, folks planted apple orchards instead, and the town just quietly reinvented itself. Its official California Historical Landmark, number 412. Walk the false front Main Street in October. Wood smoke, pie shops, oak trees, orchards turning gold on the hills. And tell me, that's not a feeling. At night, the skies go genuinely dark and the stars come out hard. About 1,768 people live here. Listings are scarce because the town's so small and the economy leans on tourism, so you've got to be patient. But it trends well below San Diego coastal prices, which for SoCal is borderline miraculous. A snowy apple town an hour from the beach. Come on, that self-effacing little place stole a piece of me. Number 7, Idlewild. There's a town a mile up in the San Jacinto Mountains where the official mayor is a golden retriever. I'll let that sit for a second. Welcome to Idlewild, the artists and climbers' refuge of Southern California. close enough to LA for a weekend, far enough to feel like another planet. People have been coming up here for over a century. First the Cahuilla as a summer home, then prospectors, ranchers, loggers. But here's the twist I love. In the 1930s, climbers on the granite face of Tahquitz Rock invented the numbered difficulty system that climbers all over America still use today. This tiny pine town basically wrote the language of rock climbing. The dream life here is towering ponderosa pines, cool, clean air, while the desert below bakes, and a walkable village stuffed with galleries, cafes, and live music. Plein air painters set up on the corners. It's that kind of place. About 4,163 people, and the median sale price landed around $476,000 in early 2026. Actually, softening a little. The Hollywood reporters even noted creatives buying in precisely because you get nature and a real community for a fraction of coastal LA. Winters bring snow and mountain road driving. Fair warning. A mountain town with a dog for a mayor and a soul this gentle? Yeah, I'd visit on purpose. Number 6. Murphy's. They call this one the Queen of the Sierra, and after you see it, you won't argue. Murphy's is a gold rush town where the old saloons and assay offices now pour wine, over 24 tasting rooms you can walk between, all on one tree-shaded street. It's Napa's charm with none of Napa's price tag or crowds. Founded in the 1849 rush around the gold of Murphy's Creek, named for the Murphy brothers who mined and traded there. The historic Murphy's Hotel has been running since 1856, and local lore says it hosted Mark Twain and Ulysses S. Grant back in the day. Same stone buildings, still serving guests. Picture this, a warm, dry evening, big shade trees, you're strolling from tasting room to tasting room where saloon signs used to swing, giant sequoias and limestone caverns just up the road. History that got reused instead of lost. I find that quietly beautiful. Around 1,944 people, median property value near $525,000, with some sources putting the home value closer to $441,000, and 2025 reports say it's tilting toward buyers. Jobs are limited. This is a lifestyle town. Quick thing before we keep going. The next few towns, they're even more beautiful and somehow even more affordable than what we've seen so far. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the moment, because number 1 honestly doesn't feel like it should be real. Okay, onward. Number 5, Dunsmuir. Okay, this is where the prices get genuinely ridiculous, in the best way. Dunsmuir calls itself the City of Waterfalls. It's wrapped in a forested canyon below Mount Shasta, and the median home price sits around $313,000. Some valuations put the typical home near $240,000. That's less than an LA condo deposit for a mountain town with waterfalls. The whole place was born from the railroad. The Central Pacific arrived in 1886, picked a flat stretch of canyon, and a town just sprang up. The name comes from a Scottish coal baron who offered to build the town a fountain if they'd name it after him. They did. He built it. Now here's the dream. Roughly 1,650 people, a tiny walkable downtown filling up with cafes, some of the best fly fishing on the upper Sacramento, and a dozen waterfalls scattered around. The town's tagline is literally, home of the best water on earth. Those springs are that pure. And then there's Mossbrae Falls, where spring water pours straight out of a moss-covered canyon wall like a hidden cathedral. It's so beautiful that locals have spent years fighting just to build a legal trail to it. It's remote, the economy's small, winters are real, I don't care. For that price in that canyon, I'd figure it out. Number 4, Cambria. Let's get back to the ocean. Cambria is a seaside village where towering Monterey pines run right down to the Pacific, one of only 3 native forests like it on Earth. And you can hunt for glittering moonstones on the beach at sunset. It's Carmel's quieter, more soulful cousin, just up the road from Hearst Castle. It started back in 1866 as a mining and shipping settlement and got its name in 1869. Cambria, the old Latin name for Wales. Moonstone Beach? Named for the smooth, translucent stones that wash up there, the ones early settlers prized. Beachcombers still hunt them today. Here's the daily rhythm: foggy, cool mornings, otters and seals in the tide pools, afternoons on the boardwalk, and a walkable village of galleries and family-run restaurants. Every clear evening, the boardwalk quietly fills with people who just come to watch the sun drop into the sea while the pines hiss behind them. A nightly ritual they never get tired of. I'll be honest with you, this is the splurge entry. Homes average around $750,000. That's real money. But for an actual Central Coast Pine Forest Beach village, where Carmel and Santa Barbara run deep into seven figures, it's a relative bargain. About 5,800 people, mostly retirees and remote workers. Pines, ocean, moonstones at dusk. Some places are just worth it. Number 3, Trinidad. Now we're in my favorite kind of California, the wild, foggy, almost forgotten north. Trinidad is a 1 square mile fishing village on the Humboldt Coast, the oldest town on the entire north coast, with maybe 400 people and a tiny white lighthouse still glowing over a working harbor full of fishing boats. It was founded April 8, 1850 on the ancestral land of the Tsurai and Eureka people, and it served as a key gold rush era port. The Trinidad Head Lighthouse, first lit in 1871, and a beloved memorial replica still keeps watch over the bay. The life here is raw and quiet in the best way, tide pooling on the rocks, beachcombing, watching gray whales slide past the headland, fresh off the boat's seafood. Redwood-backed bluffs drop into coves scattered with offshore sea stacks. It's the antidote to everything loud about Southern California. Ocean area homes have listed around $590,000 lately, which, for genuine untouched California oceanfront, where land a few hours south runs into the millions, is genuinely striking. This whole northern stretch is one of the last places coastal living stays within reach. It's remote, it's small, it's cool and misty. Those are features, not bugs if you're built for it. That little lighthouse glowing over the harbor at dusk gives Trinidad an almost unbearably tender beauty, like the edge of the world, lit up just for you. Number 2, Eureka. Remember that under $250,000 Victorian mansion I opened with? This is where it lives. Eureka is a whole seaport city with over 1,000 preserved Victorian buildings, an entire skyline of gingerbread, towers, and stained glass, crowned by the Carson Mansion, one of the most photographed Victorian homes in all of America. And you can buy into it for a price that, for California, makes no sense at all. Eureka got rich in the 1850s on redwood timber, and that lumber money built these astonishing mansions. The Carson Mansion, thrown up by lumber baron William Carson in the 1880s, is widely called one of the grandest Victorians in the country. The whole old town is wall to wall with them. Walk those streets at dusk, fog rolling off Humboldt Bay, block after block of ornate facades glowing soft in the gray light, fishing boats on the water, and redwoods just past the rooftops. It barely feels real. The climate's cool and mild year-round, rarely hot, rarely freezing. And the numbers? Median single-family homes around $410,000, below the national median, and genuine vintage Victorians listing as low as $239,000 to $250,000. For the price of a coastal SoCal studio, you own a piece of the 1880s, a whole storybook city where regular people can still afford the fairy tale. That one gets me every time. Number 1, Ferndale. And here it is, the one I almost drove past, the one I keep thinking about. Ferndale. Let me paint it for you properly. You come around a bend in the foggy, far north of California, and the road drops you into a town that somebody seems to have frozen in 1890 and kept perfect. A whole main street of pastel, lace-trimmed Victorian mansions and storefronts, dairy pastures, impossibly green, rolling gently toward the Pacific. It is so flawlessly preserved that Hollywood has used the entire town as a film set, and it's a state historic landmark. Not one building, the whole village. But here's the detail that turns it from pretty into unforgettable. These mansions, they weren't built by oil barons or railroad tycoons. They were built by dairy farmers. Ferndale was founded in 1852, and by the late 1800s, its cream and butter made it so wealthy, they nicknamed it Cream City. The farmers got so rich they built these elaborate Victorians, and the locals, I love this, call them the Butterfat Palaces. Danish dairy families who came in the 1870s built the cooperative creameries that funded the whole thing. Think about that. A tiny farm town accidentally became one of the most beautiful places in the American West on the strength of butter. Now picture the life. 1,398 people. You wake up to cool, green, mild air. You walk a gingerbread main street where folks actually know your name. The creamery, the little shops, then a short drive to empty beaches and towering redwoods. A community so close-knit it feels like a different century. Because in the best ways, it is. And the prices? The average home value sits right around $492,000, with homes regularly listing under $500,000 for one of the most beautiful preserved villages in America. Well under $1 million buys you in. Mostly it's remote workers and people fleeing California's expensive cities for character, quiet, and a life that actually feels like living. Is it remote? Yes. Is the weather cool and damp? Often. Are the local jobs limited? They are. And I won't pretend otherwise, but I'll tell you the truth. When I came around that bend and saw those pastel mansions against those green fields with the sea fog behind them, something in my chest went quiet. This is the kind of place I keep coming back to in my head. A whole storybook town, built by butter, still standing, still affordable, still waiting. Honestly, I'd move there tomorrow. If even one of these towns made you feel something, that little pull of wonder or longing or the sudden urge to pack a bag, do me a favor and drop the town's name in the comments so I know which one stole your heart. I read them. And share this with the one person you'd actually do it with. You know exactly who that is. The subscribe button's right there. And if these are the kind of places you want more of, you already know what to do. I'll leave you with this. Somewhere up that foggy northern road, the lights are on in a little Victorian town built by dairy farmers, the sea fog's rolling in over the green, and there's a porch up there with nobody's name on it yet. Maybe yours. See you in the next one.